Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Board Game Spotlight. I'm Derek, and today we are continuing our insider interview series. I'm going to have the pleasure and honor of speaking to Kevin Burkhardsmeyer of GameToppers LLC, or you might know him as Burky. They are live now with their Kickstarter GameToppers 3.5. And I'm going to go ahead and bring Burky on screen, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about himself and what's going on. Hey, Burky.
Hey, how y'all doing? So glad to
Uh,
be on the Board Game Spotlight.
I love it. Burky, thank you so much. I know launching and running a campaign is really tough. It's time consuming, but I appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us today.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to do it. How do you like this new sweater?
I was actually looking at that. I really like that sweater. It reminds me of a hockey sweater. I like, you've
Well,
got the zip up.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have black ones, but then we just got the red ones, and my wife she goes, "You look good in that red sweater."
There you go. Points. There you go.
I see you got some Game Topper gear on.
I do. This is the first. So when I worked, it was like Origins, like 2018 potentially, when I worked a couple hours for you.
Yep.
And I had this, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna throw it on.
Well, it's so great to be on the spotlight with you. I remember when we first met, years ago, and that's when Board Game Spotlight was just an idea, and you were just starting to do that, and we just hit it off right away. Jimmy Hudson too, I know, is part of the Spotlight, and
Yep.
likewise, and we were just an idea. We were just a dream, like, how do I make a portable version of a regular game table that people could enjoy, that would be accessible but high quality and have all the gamer functionality, that we like. And before we even went to market in 2017, I spent about $30,000 of my own money, scraped up everything I had, borrowed some from some of my in-laws,
Yeah.
and we went to manufacturing at this horrible price to make 60 game toppers. You got one of those, and
Wow.
Jimmy got one of those. And I sold those to you guys. You bought them from me.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
bought them, but they were like half of what I paid, because I paid this crazy price, because you don't do anything small in manufacturing. It costs
Right.
you a fortune to do limited run of anything. But I didn't even know if it would work. I didn't even know if
Yeah.
people would like it. And that Gen Con 2017, we had over 18 publishers have our game toppers in their booths. Yellow Games bought 9 of them from me.
Wow.
It
And
was
now
amazing.
I can't go to a convention without seeing them. I mean, they've
They're
become a
everywhere, right?
staple. They're all over the place. I mean, I could go and I could go anywhere in the United States. I could go to Dice Tower. I could go to Origins. I could go. I'm assuming you've got them at KublaCon. Like, I've not been to KublaCon, but that's coming up
I haven't
soon.
been there, but
But I mean, they're just all over the place, and I love how this has happened. And we've said this before in chatting with you, but the fact that you saw a need and you were like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I think there's a spot here that I could fill. And wow, what a journey.
well, it's like we just had a live Kickstarter Q&A that we just did. You can see it on our YouTube channel or at the top of the Kickstarter page, Game Toppers 3.5. But it was like I'm reminiscing about, why did I do this, and then just how all of our backers. I mean, we've sold thousands of game toppers all over the world, 18
Yeah.
countries in Europe, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand. We've got toppers in Singapore. It just blows my mind to think that in a relatively short period of
Right.
time, 5 years, we sold thousands and thousands of game mats and accessories, and the feedback that I get from the backers are like what you say so often. Man, I've had this thing for 5 years. It's crazy durable. We
Yeah.
wouldn't play on anything else. We love it. And people tell me this all the time. They always say, Burky, this is way better than you said.
Right. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, you've undersold some of it, even though you do hype up your product and you're a great ambassador for it. But I have moved with our Game Topper in 3 different locations, from my hometown across the country to LA, where we used it in LA, and then back across the country when we moved back to Illinois. Like, it has moved, and it is held up. And I mean,
Well, I remember when you got
blown away.
deployed. we sent you a storage bag
Yeah.
for it, and that
Yeah.
probably really made
That
things
helped
a
a
lot
lot.
easier.
Yeah. It helped with being able to carry it, I mean, being able to like pick it up and have it all condensed into one. That mat is real, or that storage bag is super nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
for
I'm
those of
just
you
so
who are,
grateful to everybody. When you say you're humbled, I am humbled. I can't believe it hardly. Just all the favor and kind friendships we have with so many people in the industry. It's invaluable to me, and I'm so grateful for everybody's support.
yeah. For those of you who are watching the video, make sure that you give StreamYard if you're on Facebook, give them permission to post your name. I see some people commenting, and I can throw it up on the screen. But if you don't give StreamYard your permissions, then it won't come up with your name of who said what. But I see some likes and some hearts, some high fives, and Isaac Villa saying, hey, what's going on? Great to see y'all. So tell us about, so you just finished up GameToppers 3.0.
Yeah.
So why 3.5? And for those who may have missed 3.0, like give us a little bit of a rundown as to what you've been up to over the last year.
Well, GameToppers 3.0 was our third campaign, our most successful campaign. It was fantastic. We had different waves. We had wave 1 and wave 2, and our wave 1 fulfillment we delivered a month ahead of time, which was amazing. We felt great about that. Our wave 2 items were the items that we were waiting on shipment of new things, like all of our new thematic game mats. You just posted an unboxing video yesterday on the Spotlight with your son.
Yeah.
Man, I thought that was awesome. And he couldn't wait to see the new. And then when the pirate mat came out, I mean, he just jumped up on there and was looking at the island.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, he was just drawn to. He's like, "Ooh, what's this? Like, it's an island and a treasure, and there's a whale." I mean, those mats are so awesome in how detailed they are, and the theme.
And that's the way we feel. We're just like big kids.
Right.
I want this upgraded experience, and to play a pirate themed game on, like, we played Dead Reckoning from AEG on that pirate map.
Yeah.
That was a win,
cool.
man.
That's cool.
And so our game mats and all of these things that we had, that pirate mat was a new mat. The new mat from Vincent Dutray, the Great Wall, which is gorgeous. The volcano mat, Joel Eddy just did a miniatures video on it with his Warhammer 40K.
Oh,
you got to
cool.
check it out. It's crazy.
That's cool.
Well, anyway, those things, we were waiting for those items. We're waiting for a few new accessories. We've got the new accessory bank. I think you got
that is really cool. I saw that when I was unboxing it, and I was like, "Wow, what an awesome!" I want to put it on a Lazy Susan. I want to get it to spin around the table. You could easily get that.
You were unboxing, and I wanted to jump in and talk because it was like, guess what? We are figuring out a Lazy Susan that attaches to the bottom, so it'll actually spin.
That's so cool, and I love how much space is in that organizer for just whatever it is, right? I mean, whatever you're playing.
Behind me here, over there, you can see I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but there's all the Stone Miner tokens, cards, and we designed each of them so they swoop, so it's easy to pull stuff out. Yep. I worked with Noah Adelman from Game Trays on the design of that, and he was just awesome to help with.
Very nice.
But anyway, we were waiting on those items, and we delivered about 50% of the wave 2 items on time, but then we had shipping issues just like the rest of the world. And then we had some problems with delays on the leg kits and the dining covers because of availability of raw materials. Sure. Honestly, the last couple of years have been incredibly challenging. I know it's been a big topic in the board game industry, and there's been a lot of people talking about it, but the logistics scene with shipping, like for instance, our shipping costs of a container, 40-foot container to Minnesota, dock to dock, was usually around $5,000. Now we're paying between $23,000 and $28,000. Well, I had 5 containers last year. Now, thankfully, our toppers are made right in the United States. All of our mold injected products, like our cup holders, these have our new collapsible cup holder design. So these can collapse.
That's so cool.
And then all of this stuff is made in the United States and Wisconsin, our dice towers, blah, blah, blah. So we didn't experience the delay, but what we experienced was huge price increase.
Yep.
ABS heavy duty and HDPE plastics doubled in price.
Wow.
Walnut prices tripled. Cardboard packaging prices
Yep.
Went up 20%. All of these things happened, and I did it wrong. I didn't forecast that we were going to have a global pandemic.
Well, let me let you
go upside down.
Let you in on a secret, Burky. I don't think anybody really predicted that. See, it's okay.
I wished I would have, though. Man, I would have stocked up on toilet paper.
I tell you, though, no one's gonna. I mean, people are gonna be looking for something like this in the future. I mean, when I think one of the biggest things that we learned from the pandemic was that a single point of failure could be huge. I mean, devastating to companies, and certainly devastating for like the freight costs and shipping.
Well, in the small companies, thankfully, our company's debt free. We're lean and mean. I'd really hoped last year we were going to hire 2 more employees, because we have 4 of us and we're all working like dogs. My son manages the fulfillment center. Josiah is brilliant. He does a great job with backer kit shipping and customer service. My wife works part-time, and we have a full-time warehouse worker, and I work all the time, so it's like we were hoping to add additional help, but thankfully we were able to weather the storm. We're still living lean. We're not living high on the hog by any means, but a lot of these smaller publishers that had a small game and all of a sudden they got nailed with $20,000 or and domestic stuff. I mean, we used to ship a truck for $500-600, and now it's $2,000.
Right. I mean, just across the board, you're looking at an increase on almost everything. And it's hard to project that. It's hard to forecast, and definitely hard to.
Well, and because there was so many losses, what a lot of people don't realize, that this supply chain problem, it has a cascading effect on other items, and that causes a delay, which causes manufacturing people to have part of their staff on hold. We had 2 companies that were making our dining covers in the United States. One of those companies paid their employees for 6 months to just sit at home so they didn't lose their workforce. They still actually aren't up and running because of availability of that high resin MDF. And those companies are trying to get back in business. And, it's just tragic what has happened. And so my heart goes out to all the small business people that have had to endure this, and so many of us in the gaming community that are. But when game companies are telling you that, hey, there are extra costs here, it's not us trying to take something from you. It really isn't. It's just what has happened.
So far, in my experience, I feel like most game publishers or people in the industry are kind of even downplaying the cost. Like, they're not even telling you how much. I mean, when we say there are additional costs, sometimes these companies are still eating some of that cost to try to alleviate the stress on their consumers and to not just lose their consumer base at all. And I don't, that's the hardest thing, is like, it's real. It's tough.
And that's exactly it. For me as a manufacturer, we didn't go back to our backers and say, hey, we just ate $200,000 this year, and I need you all to give me $100 extra bucks. We didn't do that. Thankfully, we didn't have to do that. We just ate it, and that's the way it was. And that kept us from doing the things we had hoped to do, with staff and things like that. But we felt for us that was the right decision, and so we didn't pass it on to the backers. But I don't want to go to the backers and whine about my problems. They backed my product, and that was my risk. That was my responsibility. And so I take and hold that personally. But I also don't begrudge another company that says, listen, we can't afford to send this out if we don't have more money, because we hardly made anything on it to begin with.
Right. And I think what publisher is going to be in a different position, right? I mean, it's not a cookie cutter solution for everyone, because everybody's trying to figure out what works best. And like you said, margins on a product could be worse or better in some places. So you kind of have to figure that out to make
it's been quite a topic. But long and short of it, we've delivered 90% of all the stuff to all of our backers from Kickstarter 3.0, which was awesome. Canada and all that. The overseas backers are waiting for our dining covers that are coming in July, but that's why we did Kickstarter 3.5.
Okay.
It's a little strange to do a 3.5 versus why didn't we go to Kickstarter 4.0, right?
Right.
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
Tell us about 3.5. Like what can we expect?
Well, we thought, okay, we've got this situation. Is there a way for us to help our overseas backers without causing any more delay? And we thought, well, we've got a certain amount of product in stock. We have a new product that was not offered last time, and that's the leg kits for our Moriarty 4-foot by 4-foot topper and the Mycroft. And that was one of the things on the last campaign. We had not yet developed the center supports to handle the longer span. We weren't comfortable with the prototypes that we had. And we said, we're going to do that later. Well, our Mycroft backers are like, what about us? And I'm like, I'm sorry, we love you. It's coming. Just give us a little more time.
Yeah.
But because of all these delays, sometimes things work out for good. And we were able to innovate our center support to be a 2-piece unit. And it has screw holes in there that allows us to put adjustable feature that allows us to put the bolts in there to accommodate the Watson topper, the Holmes topper, the Mycroft topper, the Moriarty, and all the XL toppers. Because you can get a 24-inch extension leaf. Like for your Watson, we can turn that into a Watson XL, make it 2 feet longer. Yeah, baby.
Let's go.
So this new center support, not only did it accommodate all those functions, it was 2 pieces of angle iron bolted that actually becomes more stout and doesn't twist like the solid pieces that we had initially prototyped. So it ended up being a huge win. We assembled the product once we got it. It came in beautifully. We were delayed on it, and we were worried about it, and then it came in and it was awesome.
No, I mean, that's great. I mean, being patient and when waiting for a solution is a lot. I mean, that could make,
and my backers know I'm really picky. You know, it has to have a standard for me to go out the door. If it's not good enough for my home, it's not going out, and that's the way it is. And my vendors might not always like me because I am a little persistent about details. But that's the way it is. And that's why I think part of our product success has been people have enjoyed the use. They know it's durable. They know it's heirloom. They know I'm not just selling crap. And, you know, they know that that I care about this stuff. I really do.
I mean, at this point, you've put in a long history so far of products that hold up. And like you said, I mean, when you're first starting out, you know, but now you've kind of built this brand now where it's like, yeah, I mean, more Game Topper stuff. Give it to me. Like, I want, you know, bigger and better. And you're like the leg kits. That was such an awesome idea.
And now we even have dining covers, and that's been a challenge, but we've got them in the works now. And Kickstarter 3.5 was people that are overseas. They can get in on this whole Kickstarter campaign with package deals, all kinds of crazy stretch goals. We just added a whole bunch of them today. You got to check it out. So whether you're a new backer, an existing backer, an overseas backer waiting for their order, you can add to your order now. It's not all of the overseas packages are ready to go. All we have to do is get this new Kickstarter is going to end on the 27th. So it's only 17 days. Not too many people do only that short of a time.
Right.
Limited time. We're going to do this so we don't delay their orders. The Pledge Manager will launch from Backer Kit on June 2nd when I'm at the UK Games Expo.
Games Expo, yeah.
At the expo. Say that 3 times fast. UK Games Expo. And then it'll only stay open for a very limited time. As soon as those dining covers come in, we're going to package up all these overseas orders within 1 week, and those orders are going to go out. So it didn't affect them negatively. It only helped them. It also allowed a lot of people that want to get in on these package deals at these prices and have an early summer fulfillment. I mean, who does that? Have a Kickstarter in May and have it delivered in August? Never,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's a very tight turnaround.
But it's a short window, this 3.5 Kickstarter, 17 days, and then a pledge manager time. After this is all done, because of all of our price increases, the cost for me to reacquire product is gone up quite a bit, actually. Yeah. And I have to make changes to the pricing. That's why we're doing this. I felt like it was a win-win, even though we hadn't delivered the European orders, but it didn't affect them negatively. So I thought this is the right thing to do. And then GameToppers 4.0 in the future,
there it is.
If I could tell you all the stuff that's in my brain and all the stuff that we already have started to develop, you just would. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be good.
I'm excited. I mean, so far you like blew my mind when you came out with the leg kits. I was like, wow, I didn't even think about something like that. And then the new cup holders like that now they're dishwasher safe and they collapsible. I mean, just overall the stuff that you're doing, Burky, is so cool. For those of you who are watching and you're commenting, I did go check out Barry, one of someone who's watching, says, I'm so excited. Wife and I just decided to back this project and get our first game topper. We'll be getting the Baker Street package. Street with Holmes Table. Yeah. If you're watching on StreamYards, please give StreamYards the permission to post your name. That way we know who's talking. And then Ellen Kirby said that they love Game Toppers.
I love those guys. They're the best.
They're wonderful. I've got 4 toppers. One even lives outside in the covered porch. Great stuff. And seeing yours behind you, Secret Labs Titan 2. Yeah, I've got a Secret Lab. That's my nice.
That blows my mind.
But I mean, people that love your products, and it's one of those things where, like, once you have a game topper, I don't need anything else. Like, I know there are other options and there are other things out there, but for me and what I want to do, Game Toppers works so well. It doesn't break the bank, and that's honestly a really nice piece of the puzzle.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's really why we're doing it, and that's what honestly fuels me. I try to make good business decisions. I have a business background. I've run many successful businesses, so that's definitely helped to have some business acumen to actually execute the dream. Right. But this was still a dream. Right. It required a lot of hard work, but it really required just everybody's participation, our backers, the kindness that they show towards me, the media reviewers, the publishing community. It blows my mind. It can be very emotional for me at times to realize what's happened and the joy that we're actually bringing people and enhancing their life just by enhancing their gameplay.
Yeah, I mean,
and I always use this comment. I said, it's one thing to trick out a game, and that's why I did this, because I love tricking out my games. I've got inserts, I've got special components, I got metal coins. You should see my coin collection, everybody. And get ready, Game Toppers is going to have metal coins too. I mean, you wait till.
I'm ready for 4.0.
If I can tell you all the stuff I have in my head that is dream related. And partially in activation. But to think of where we've come from and how this is upgrading every game you play from here on out. It's not just upgrading one game. Right. Every game you put on a table, we got the Foundations of Rome mat on here, and I just got that in from Arcane Wonders.
Yep.
Oh man, talk about awesome. I love this. Love this game. Playing it on this Roman mat.
Yeah. It's so cool. You don't realize how something so simple, and honestly, like getting the game topper on my table and using it and playing, like even just having the play mat and cards being able to be picked up easier and played, and like you just don't realize how much it can change things, and it's super cool. I've had people play on it and they're like, wow, like this is this is really cool. I'm like, yeah, I know. You should go, you know, and I send them a link. I'm like, this is great. And they're like, I don't have to buy a whole new table. I already have a dining room table and I could just get this out for game nights once a month or however. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it can live wherever you want it to, right? And it's really portable and it's awesome. It takes me less than 5 minutes to set it up. If it doesn't live on a table permanently, which ours does. But if I needed to,
And
move it,
and we have so many different sizes too
that's
that
the other thing.
accommodate different
Yeah.
kind of gameplay. If you go to GameToppersLLC.com and go to the products page, you'll see the banners for each model. We have our Sherlock Holmes theme, and the Game Topper,
Yeah.
whole thing going on. But the Lestrade is 36 by 36. It's great for those small footprint games and great on your coffee table or ottoman. We have the Adler 3 foot by 4 foot. The Watsons, our number one seller. That's what you
I
have.
have. I love it. It's the perfect space for 4 to 6 players. It's wonderful. It's great.
It's one of our top ones, and you can click those banners, and we actually have set up a lot of popular games on them, so you can see what a game actually looks like with the footprint, for instance.
That's awesome. I'll throw that link to I'll throw that link in the comments for people to be able to take a look at, because that's a great idea to throw. Like, what does this game look like on Game Toppers, right? So I think that's cool.
Well, and that was part of it too. It's like everybody has different size tables. They have different,
right.
The Watson and Holmes fit on most people's home dining room size tables, but the Mycroft, that's awesome. 4 foot, 6 foot if you're playing big miniature honking games and you've got a nice table. And now the leg kits, that makes that even better.
Yep, I definitely agree. So tell us, Burky, is there anything that you want to highlight from 3.0, 3.5, or you've already alluded to some things like metal coins potentially coming in the future, which I'm very excited about. I love to bling out my games too. I love to go super extra on stuff. I'm always ordering the deluxe geek bits and all of that stuff. But is there anything else you'd like to mention to everybody before we close out?
Well, basically is that we're doing our best to always make everything backward compatible so you can add to your system. And I like to use the word a game topper system because it's more than just a topper. It's a system. It's portable cup holders. It's dice trays like our poker chip trays. These are fantastic. They hook in the rail. We have these dice accessory trays with privacy screens that hook on the rail with the dice towers, all kinds of features that make functionality really great. But on this Kickstarter particularly, we have some new items with the leg kits and different offerings, but we've made a bunch of stretch goals. So if you're an existing backer, you can buy some stuff now, pledge for some stuff at a lower price than we've ever offered them at, because I wanted also to make sure that I remembered you as an existing backer, but then likewise, new backers can jump in and take advantage of this early delivery. And if you'd be so kind to help us share the campaign, it makes all the world of difference if you reshare, retweet the campaign links and tell people your own experience with Game Toppers. That's awesome. And we have a game group called the Game Topper Nation. We have over 1,400 people in it already, and it's just people there sharing their love of Game Toppers.
Yep, I'm also in that group, and I see posts come up every once in a while, like, oh, I just got this new mat, or I've got XYZ accessory, and they're showing it off, or they're just playing on their Game Topper, showing off what they're playing, and I think that's really great. I'm a big proponent of being a good ambassador, Burky, and I know you do a great job with your product, and I know that a lot of people that use them are diehard fans, and I consider myself to be one of those people. Like, I love to tell people about it. I love to show people them, and usually if I'm at a convention and people haven't seen them, I'm like, oh, come over here, because there's some booth has one, so it's really easy. I mean, I've seen them in, I think it was just most recently at maybe PAX. They had a bunch of them in just their free play area or the hotness tables and stuff like that. Yeah, so you can't go anywhere without seeing a Game Topper now.
Yeah, it blows my mind. I'm so grateful. Really thanks. You are a very good ambassador, and your friendship means a lot to me, Derek, so I'm really grateful
Burky,
for all the
same
help
here.
you've given us too. And
I
Lizzie
really,
too.
oh,
Lizzie
of
loves
course.
Game Toppers, and
Oh
she
yeah.
even there's even a little testimonial of her on our one of our graphics on the
Oh
Kickstarter
really?
campaign.
Oh, that's awesome.
You got to
Yeah,
check
she
it out.
loves it
It's
too.
all we Elizabethanized her,
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have
so
to go
it's
take a
all
look at that.
Holmesian. Yeah, you got to go look at it. It's pretty cool.
Okay, I can't wait to show her because I didn't see that. But yeah, we both again really value the friendship and the what we've built here, and I'm excited
Yeah,
for the future 4.0. I am very excited to hear more.
and your son will love what we have coming up as well.
Okay,
So that gives you a
good.
little clue of something that's going to take us into another complementary direction that you're going to love.
Okay. I'm very intrigued, extremely interested.
It might be another Sherlock Holmes mystery, huh?
Okay, okay. I like it. I like it, Burky. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you to everyone who watched this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them. Leave a reply below. You can find a link to the Kickstarter campaign pinned in this video, and of course, you can find Burky. Where can we find Game Toppers on social
You can
media?
find us at GameToppersLLC.com, Facebook GameToppers LLC, Twitter, Instagram, same gig. You'll find our Kickstarter, Game Toppers 3.0. It's easy to find us there, and Click Track, a lot of those places. You pretty much Google Game Toppers
Yep.
and you'll find us pretty easily. Burky at GameToppersLLC.com. I answer every correspondence between my son and I. We take that very seriously, that we're responsive, not only for customer service, but just for interactions. So if you tag me, I'm not perfect. I can make mistakes, but I'm generally going to respond individually to everyone.
Great. Awesome. Well, Burky, thanks again for taking time out of your day, and best wishes on the rest of your campaign.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
All right. See you later, everyone.
Yeah.